So several years ago, I was asked to give a talk about the state of opera. And I went down this path of looking at some alarming trends where the opera business was becoming more concerned with visual aspects, sometimes at the peril of the vocal and musical elements. And a friend pointed out that nobody gives a shit. So it's silly to have a dialogue about what's more important in opera if we can't agree as a society that this 420-year-old art form that could die on our watch needs to be supported. This is a short list of some of the companies that have collapsed since 2008. And even if you're not an opera fan yet, I urge you to look at these cities and imagine you've got full-time, part-time employees. You've got theater goers that used to go to restaurants that no longer go there. Opera is hard, okay? It comes from the Greek word meaning work, and there's a reason for that. Ticket sales cover less than a half of the cost, sometimes less than a third of the cost. We've always relied on the generous nature of strangers. I did not steal this from Megan, but this is to make sure you're still paying attention. And also to let you know that if you've never been to the opera, I'm pretty sure that you'll see something there that you like. Also, our dress code has changed over the years. So, my story, I want to tell you about a formerly skinny, mullet-headed Catholic high school boy from Connecticut with dreams of becoming a famous heavy metal guitar player. Through a series of dares and strange twists in the road and a strong desire to get out of math class, I ended up on a vocal scholarship in New Orleans. People would ask my father, Brendan's going to music school, what's he going to be when he gets out of school? And Dad would say, I don't know, 39, 40, it was close. But it was then that I saw my first opera, which was Wagner's Tannhäuser. And those of you that don't know, this is pretty heavy shit. Pardon my potty mouth. But what blew me away about this endeavor was that there were 250 people working together in concert to bring this 150-year-old piece of music to life just for the people that were in the theater that night. So I packed away my guitar. Yes, I do own this album, don't judge. My brothers liked to point out that my new career still involves tights and makeup, but hey, you gotta be good at something. So I went after a career in opera, and I was very fortunate to sing all over the country. Met my wife singing in Florida, so yay opera. But I got to work with the Baltimore Opera, which was in my hometown, and it was great because you could sing at a very high level and sleep in your own bed, better than living out of a suitcase. When that company collapsed in 2008, some friends and I were pretty angry, and we started our own company called the Baltimore Concert Opera, which essentially our mission is to change these preconceived notions that opera is a club for rich old white men. It's not. Everybody is welcome. Why do we care? I have a hard time talking about why I care about this because I'm so passionate about it, but why do you like football? There's a common vocabulary. There's this team collective spirit. And you get to watch people do something that you can't do. It's really cool. Now, I know that we have some pretty strong objections to overcome if you've never been to the opera. There's this idea that it's too expensive, it's too long. Oh, someone read if I wanted to hear fat ladies screaming, I'd watch The View. I've heard it all, but I'm here to tell you, I can overcome all these objections. It is cheaper than going to a ball game, and our beers cost half the price. We project the translations so you know what's going on. And as I tell my 6-year-old, it's pretty impressive to the ladies. One of the big challenges that we have today is the media. If you think about opera and what you've seen on TV, generally it's in caricature. Somebody is making fun of it. Okay? 20 years ago, the Bravo network used to show operas and ballets on TV. Now it's the Plastic Housewives of Who Cares Where. When you go to YouTube, you type opera singer. This is what comes up. You hear about the blind guy, the 12-year-old girl, or the fat kid. It's the backstory, it's not the talent, and it is so insanely frustrating for us. Not to say that they don't have talent, but they're not opera singers. If you've never sung in an opera, you're not an opera singer. What does it mean to Delaware? I believe that we are uniquely positioned here to have a major international opera festival that can bring people from all over the world by train, by air, by boat. It is a difficult puzzle to figure out. We need to throw out the old funding model, which seemed to be plan a season, wait for the right person to die, and leave you the right amount of money and hope that you can keep going. We need to cast a wider net. We need the community involved. And I believe that with everyday superheroes that are willing to give this a try, check it out, and if they enjoy it, which I know you will, tell your friends, because we can have a major economic impact on this area, and we can also just change the quality of life through this beautiful, beautiful music. So if you haven't figured it out, in saving opera one voice at a time, that voice is yours. There are tons of opportunities in this area, not just at OperaDelaware to see opera. Call me. I'll take you by the hand and bring you to your first opera. Thank you.
All right, that sounds good.